Wisp Sports Radio, the voice of women in sport.
This is Season 1, Episode 18 of Hockey Talk on Wisp Sports. I'm Shannon Miller, and at Wisp Sports, we believe women in sport deserve equal coverage. I'm delighted to announce my sponsor, Yugo. Yugo is a company started up by two women who invented a great product that can be valuable to everyone. Let's hear more about Yugo.
Have you ever thought you had the best protection for your phone only to find it failed? Yugo to the rescue, the only waterproof life jacket for your phone using a dry suit zipper closure. Your phone has full functionality while inside, and best of all, Yugo floats. Use promo code HockeyTalk and check us out at yugowear.com. That is UGOWEAR.com.
Today's podcast is titled Trailblazers and Game Changers. My guests, Kendall Coyne and Manon Rheaume. But first, Emma Watson, known as the Harry Potter Girl. She spoke at the United Nations. Her message was about gender equality, and she was promoting he for she. Emma Watson was encouraging all of us to embrace feminism, explaining it as simply embracing equality. And her message to women and girls? If not me, who? If not now, when? She stated, if you have doubts when your opportunity is presented to you, I hope these words can help. My guests today are two women who are trailblazers, game changers, and they likely ask themselves that question directly or indirectly. Both these questions. If not me, who? If not now, when? One guest, Manon Rheaume. She made history on September 23rd, 1992 by being the first female ever to play in the NHL. Manon made her debut as a goaltender for the Tampa Bay Lightning in a game against the Boston Bruins. It was a day Manon Rheaume would never forget, and an amazing moment in history for women. Welcome, Manon Rheaume, and please know it's an honor to have you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
My other special guest is Kendall Coyne. Kendall made history by being the first female to participate in the NHL Skills Showcase during the NHL All-Star Weekend in San Jose, California. Kendall Coyne competed in the fastest skater competition, unleashing her speed to achieve an amazing time of 14.346 seconds. Kendall skated with the confidence and the skill of a world-class player, the world-class player that she is, and she made her mark on our journey towards equality. Welcome, Kendall Coyne. Congrats on your recent success, and I'm pleased to have you joining us as well.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Manon and Kendall are amazing role models for women. They have both broken barriers that help bring men's and women's sport together. These are moments that live on forever, and this is something that I hope will bind the two of you together forever. But Manon and Kendall share even more than that. Manon, I believe you coached Kendall when she was a young girl. Share that relationship with us.
Yes, years ago when I was coaching, I was getting ready to bring the first all-girls team to the Quebec Pee Wee tournament, which was a mostly boys tournament. They had a few girls here and there playing on boys team, but never all-girls team played there. And someone talked to me about this young Kendall Coyne from Chicago, and she joined my team, and she was just an amazing player. I was so happy to have her with us. And the cool thing, I remember ESPN was there and they did a show on the girls. And one of the interview, they asked Kendall, what do you want to do later in life? And she said, I want to play in the Olympics. So to have coaching her, and she was that young and she had a gold to win the Olympics, and years later to steer at the Olympics and winning a gold medal was pretty amazing.
Yes, exactly. And I remember you talking to me about her a long time ago, and I wanted to recruit her to Duluth, and you were telling me, Coach Miller, you got to get this kid to play for you. And I remember that. Kendall, what's your memory of Manon when she was coaching you when you were young?
Well, I have a lot of amazing memories, but I just remember Manon putting together such an amazing team to go over to, again, break another barrier at the Quebec Pee Wee tournament and be the first all-girls team. And for a lot of us, we were all playing with boys teams. So it was really the first time for most of us that we've ever been on a girls team. And Manon led by example, as she always does. And it was just so eye-opening because that was the first time we came together as girls and talked about, wait, you want to go to the Olympics? So do I. Oh, okay. Like, we don't want to go to the NHL. This is really interesting. I've never had this conversation before. And Manon led and guided, and as she's been doing for years, leading the charge and growing the girls' game.
Isn't it fabulous to have a role model that has been to the Olympics, and there you are, a young girl, and that's your dream with Manon standing in front of you and basically leading the way and guiding you like you just said? It does have an impact on your life.
Oh, absolutely. And up to that point, I never had a female coach until Manon. And Manon played in the NHL. We all knew that. And just to see how strong-willed she was, she didn't take crap from anybody. And that was when I was 11. So just to be able to see that at such a young age really made me believe in myself and believe I can accomplish what I set out to do.
That's awesome, and that's a great story. So Manon, as women, we are entrepreneurs and we have remarkable drive. We are willing to take on the man and machine and often have to make our own path. You achieved an amazing accomplishment as the first female to play in the NHL. Most people that understand hockey and follow hockey even just a little bit know who you are. Take us back to when you played in the NHL and share a little bit of that journey with us.
Yeah, it was interesting when I got invited to the camp. I remember a lot of people telling me, "Are you not afraid to look bad out there? And you don't have the experience that the guys have, and they're just bringing you because you're a female." And I remember telling myself so many times people said no to me because I was a female. I didn't really care why I was invited. I knew that no matter if I was a girl or boy, I had to perform when I get there. And so I didn't want to look back and said, what if I went there and went to the NHL instead of like passing on that opportunity? I just took the opportunity and went for it. So I look back now, and it's obviously the best decision of my life. The worst thing that would have happened, it's me not performing and move on with my life. And instead, I was able to have a great camp, and I finished in a third of the best average during the small mini tournament that we played, and they start me in one of the games. So it was, I could have not had better scenario than what happened there.
That was an absolutely amazing time, Manon, and people that didn't even follow hockey actually were tuning into that. And many, many people, certainly my age and older, know who you are. And it's so awesome to have someone like Kendall on here. She's 26 years old, and you're one of her role models, and you aspired her as well. So you've reached many, many people in your short lifetime already. So Kendall, tell us how you came to be competing in the fastest skater competition in the NHL Skills Contest.
Yeah, so I was going to San Jose. I got on a plane with the intention of demonstrating the accuracy skills competition. And last year, 3 of my teammates demonstrated in Tampa at the 2018 All-Star Game. So fast forward to this year, there were 4 of us, 2 Americans, 2 Canadians, and we were all demonstrating. So we weren't competing. And then we got there and we were rehearsing, and I jumped in the fastest skater competition just to rehearse it. And I got a pretty good score, which would have left me in 4th place last year. And fast forward to Friday, the day of the competition, Nathan MacKinnon was unable to skate, and I was there. So there was a spot open, and through conversations with the NHL and the NHLPA, they determined that I would fulfill Nathan's spot. And the Colorado Avalanche tweeted at me and said, would you take Nathan's spot? And as soon as I got that call and said, you'll be the first woman to compete in the NHL All-Star Skills Competition, chills ran through my back. I had to sit down, take a deep breath, because I knew this moment was a moment that was going to break a lot of barriers. They're going to change the way people perceive the game if I succeeded. And, it was going to be a groundbreaking moment. So I found out roughly 4 hours before.
Wow. Amazing confidence to be able to step up and bring that home. So Kendall, literally you find out 4 hours before the race. Tell us what you were thinking. You said you had chills. You said you knew you were probably going to break barriers. You knew the eyes of the world were on you. what were you thinking? If you can go a little bit deeper than that, if you're willing to, before the race, during the race, and then after.
Before the race, there was a lot going through my head. I immediately called my parents, my husband, just to tell them the news. And I think the big thing that was going through my head was, I don't want to mess this opportunity up. Similar to Manon, I want to go there, I want to perform. And what I was mostly thinking was, you have one chance and one opportunity. There's no falling, there's no stumbling. This needs to be a clean skate to prove to the world that women belong in hockey. And so that was one thing going through my head. And then the other was just how amazing this opportunity is. And I'm going to enjoy the moment. And I think if you saw it, I had a smile on my face almost the whole time. And then as soon as I got to the rink, my nerves started to calm down just a little bit, because that felt normal to me. I've been in that situation before. And I asked Connor McDavid if he was nervous, and he told me he was a little nervous. So that made me feel a little bit better about myself. I got to the starting line, and the whole San Jose crowd erupted and started chanting USA, USA, which was incredible. And I just had to stand up and take it all in, and just enjoy it, because that's what we do, why we do what we do. And afterwards, just to see everyone's reaction, it's been incredible, and it's been special to see how many people have been inspired to pick up a pair of skates, boy, girl, whatever it is, and it's been awesome.
Well, truly amazing. Great job. So Manon, being one of the few risk takers, really game changers, and barrier breaking women, and you've been around the men's and the women's game for many years. What were your thoughts when you saw Kendall compete in the NHL All-Star competition?
I was so excited. Like, you have no idea, having coached Kendall, to see the person that she was all those years. The most amazing thing to me is she played on every team she played for me. She was always the best player, but being the best player, she was very humble, and really she was the best teammate for everybody else. And the biggest thing is she was the hardest worker. And I knew that when you get to the national team level, you have a lot of good players out there. You have a lot of good players to choose from. But what can make the difference is your work ethic. And that's something that she had. And I was so proud of seeing her there, because I think she deserved it. Knowing her personally, knowing the impact that she has on the team. She's a humble person. She works hard, and she's just such a great teammate and role model for the rest. I remember when we were in Michigan, I think I was 14 years old, and I was helping out my boss to coach his daughter's team, and we were not very good. And he asked me if I knew some players. And when I brought Kendall, the first day she showed up at the rink, she was tiny little thing with her baseball cap backward. And I remember my boss looking at me, as like, are you kidding me? Like, I asked you to bring a good player. And I said to him, wait to see her skate. And she got on the ice, and I think she was playing either left or right wings. And I seen the puck drop. She was the further away from the puck, and she was the first one that got to the puck. And I remember my boss turning by me and said, okay, we're good. I like her. And it was just like, you could never tell that she would be this amazing player. And when she stepped on the ice, she was just someone that you just want to watch play. So to see her there, in the NHL All-Star game, and to know, when I played way back in '92, we didn't have social media. So for whatever reason, if I didn't have a good game that day, the worst that would have happened, it's something in the paper that would have lost one day and it would have been gone. Like, think about Kendall doing this in front of all those people, and knowing that it's going to be posted on social media for everyone to see for the rest of their life. It's a lot of pressure. And for her to have performed that well, it's really amazing.
It is tremendous. It is tremendous pressure. And Kendall and Manon, you both have had those moments. So Kendall, was tremendous pressure. You must be so mentally tough to be able to do what you did. And so very few people would even understand how much pressure that is. Manon does. But Manon, you had tremendous pressure. You skated onto the ice with the eyes of the world on you, as the first female to be in net in the NHL, playing against huge men, having them shoot at you and come at you physically. You had to be incredibly mentally tough to perform in that moment. Do you remember what you were thinking and what you were going through in your mind while you were playing?
Yes. The funny thing about being a goalie, first of all, you need to love the pressure. If you don't like the pressure, you should pick another position. So that was the one of the things that I love the most about being a goalie. It's to be under that pressure, to have your heart beating so hard before a game, and when the game starts. I remember the walk from my locker room to the ice. I never in my life felt so nervous. I felt like, my heart's going to come out of my chest. And as soon as I stepped on the ice, it was like in my happy place. This is the place that I felt good. I enjoyed playing the game so much that I forgot that I was in an NHL game, and I was just playing the game. And it was just really cool to see the transition, being so nervous and feeling so comfortable. And for whatever reason, every time I've been under pressure, it's the time where the adrenaline is so high. And usually it's the time that I perform the best, when I have so much pressure. So it was a fun, and you need to be strong, I think, playing that position. But it was even worse for me because I was a girl, French Canadian. I didn't speak the language very well. I was a rookie playing in that position. And something that people didn't know, I didn't grow much from the time I played Pee-wee hockey. I still had the same shoulder pads and chest protector that I was playing when I was playing youth hockey. My entire body was so bruised after a week of training camp. I remember them giving me like brand new shoulder pads to make sure I don't get hurt, but I couldn't move in them because they were too big and too stiff. So I play with like barely nothing on me, and I was bruised, but there's no way in the world that I was not finishing the camp. My trainer every day was adding padding to my chest protector to make sure that I had less and less bruise every day. So, but it's just nothing would have stopped me to do what I did.
Awesome. That's pretty funny that you're wearing the same equipment from Pee Wee Hockey, Manon.
Manon, I remember reading that in your book, actually.
So okay, I kept those things. If any NHL guys would see those things now, I said, no way you play with that.
Yeah. You still have that equipment?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
my
good.
kids doesn't believe that they're for real.
Yeah, especially because your son is a goalie, and we'll get into that a little bit later. That's right. So, Kendall, just recently you were a guest analyst for the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Tampa Bay Lightning game. You were there broadcasting with Pierre Maguire, and there's a little bit of controversy around that. Do you want to share with us what happened and what your thoughts are with all that?
Yeah, I would encourage people to go on my social media page to look at the release that I made publicly about the situation. That's in depth how I feel. I don't need to get into it all right now, but Pierre was excited for me. I've known Pierre for many years. But it doesn't overshadow the moment that I had, the moment I've worked for, to be put in that position and, to get ready to be an analyst for an NHL game, and in a position in which I think we need more women, because there are a lot of amazing women that can talk hockey. And so for me, that was another barrier broken. It was another moment that I was so excited to be in and so honored to be in. And I'm not going to let that situation, take over what an amazing moment I had. The way I feel about it is what Pierre said. I understand how people took it in a negative manner, and I respect that. And when I went back and looked at the film, I totally understood that. And like I said in my statement, I think it's a learning situation for all. And I would encourage people to go and see what I wrote, because that's how I feel.
Well, good for you. If it makes you feel any better, I didn't know anything about it until 5 minutes before this call tonight. And so I just read a quick article on it. I haven't had a chance to see your statement, but I knew that you would proudly talk about it, and I was quite sure you would take the right path. So good for you. And you know what? When something like that happens, sometimes it brings more attention to the event and what's going on. And in the long run, more people know about you and that you had the opportunity to be a broadcaster. And you're right, we need more women talking hockey, because we can talk hockey. So good for you.
Thank you.
So Kendall and Manon, I coached with Team Canada from 1991 to 98, winning 3 World Championship gold medals and 1 Olympic silver in Nagano, Japan. What many people might not know is that Manon was the goaltender for two of those World Championships and for the Olympic Games in Japan. Manon, if you can think back to the 1990s when we were together with Team Canada, can you talk a little bit about the importance of your time with Team Canada and what those experiences were like?
Actually, when I was younger, I almost quit hockey because I didn't have any place to go. And I remember seeing the national team and try to learn more about it. And it's really what gave me, that's what kept me in the sports, knowing that something was there for girls that played hockey. So for me, it was life-changing to have the chance to represent your country at the World Championship or the Olympic game and to have you as a coach, as a mentor. To me, it changed the way I saw the game, and I learned so much from the way you coach and your preparation, mental preparation, and all the ups and downs that you go through with a team. It's been one of my favorite moments in sports.
Oh, that's great. And it was certainly fun to be with you on Team Canada. We had a lot of highs and lows together, but we're friends now. We'll be friends forever, so it's all worth it.
Absolutely.
So Kendall and Manon, both of you are very strong women. And Kendall, we all must continue to be, because there are so many women that have come before us and they've paid such a heavy price. And we actually have the privilege to carry the torch. And I believe it's our biggest honor. With what you've just accomplished, do you feel like you have the honor of carrying the torch now? And what does that mean to you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you say carry the torch, it's important to educate the next generation on how this moment came about. And now they know what they can accomplish. And it's challenging the younger generation to accomplish more than what's been accomplished today. And I think it goes without saying that NHL All-Star Skills Competition moment didn't happen without all of the women's hockey players in the world today, because we've been putting amazing product on the ice day in and day out, and people have been catching on, seeing it, picking, TV networks have been picking up our games. People have been coming into the stadiums, and the word has been spreading that this women's game is pretty good. And so without that conversation and without people talking about the game, I've never had the opportunity to go and have an opportunity to skate in the skills competition. So I think when you talk about passing the torch, I also do think credit is due to every women's player, especially on the national teams, who have been working day in and day out to put amazing product on the ice, and especially those who have come before us, like you guys and stuff. So it is an honor, and yes, it's definitely a responsibility to continue to pass the torch.
Well, Kendall, it's so nice that you understand that. And I, for one, am glad that the torch is in your hands right now. I think you're going to be an incredible ambassador for women's hockey. So you go, girl.
Thank you.
Actually, all my young girls team, they all love Kendall and they look up to her. And it's so cool to see her when she was 11, 12 years old, and now I'm coaching 12-year-old girl, and they all look up to Kendall and they love her and they following her. So it's nice to see that.
Well, thanks, Manon. I wouldn't say they look up to me though.
Oh, they love you. Maybe look.
Yeah.
Some of them are taller than you. Yeah.
I saw them a couple weeks ago. They're pretty tall.
Kendall, you must get this all the time. I have a friend that's a basketball coach, and literally just a few days ago, we were on the phone together, and she said to me, "Oh, Shannon, my daughter's in grade 1, and she's taller than you." And but the women that had this child they're well over 6 feet tall, and they actually had a donor that was well over 6 feet tall. So I know what you're going through, Kendall. I get it.
Yeah, my husband's 6'7", so I keep saying, I hope our kids get your height.
Oh, dear God, yes. Or somewhere in the middle, a balance between the two. So, Manon, tell us about your hockey and life experiences after you played that game in the NHL, but before playing in the 1998 Olympic Games, because if I remember correctly, you played men's pro and semi-pro hockey for about 6 years, and you had Dylan. So you've been carrying the torch for a long time.
Yes, that was an amazing opportunity for me to play pro hockey for all those years to make a living of playing the sport that I love. It was amazing, especially being a female. It was a lot of pressure because every time I play, I was under I knew that no matter how I played, it would be in the paper, on TV. But it was also a lot of fun to play hockey for a living. So, and after the 98 Olympic, I had my first son, Dylan, and my life kind of changed. My kids become my priority. And that was one thing that I have to give to my parents. We were always their priority. They always follow us everywhere. They sacrifice so much for us. And that's how I wanted to be with my kids. So I had to retire from hockey to be able to focus on my kids. And it's been like just amazing to see their growth. And they're both playing hockey now. My oldest one played for Team USA. And now he's playing at Notre Dame. I know I was all dressed up in USA when he was at the World Championship, and all my old teammate from Team Canada was sending me messages like, that color looks weird on you. So, but it was a lot of fun, like just for him to have accomplished that. And now he's playing college hockey, and just having that bond of playing the same position and going through the same ups and downs. It's really nice. And now my youngest one, I'm so thankful that he's not a goalie, because being the mother of a goalie, it's probably the worst thing in the world. It's so nerve-wracking. Playing the game is fun, but being the mother of the goalie, it's not. So my youngest one now is a defense. So I'm having a lot of fun to help him throughout their journey and continue to coach girls hockey in the meantime.
Well, Manon, you and I have known each other for 28 years. We basically became friends after the 98 Olympics when I was no longer your coach. And when I became the head coach at UMD in Duluth, Minnesota, I asked you to be my volunteer goalie coach and help me build the program. And that's during the early years of the program. And you agreed. Do you remember that? You would fly in and you'd bring Dylan.
Absolutely. He was a baby.
Yeah, Dylan was a baby, and Manon and Dylan would stay at my house in Duluth, and Manon coached with me, and Dylan was around the team all the time. I remember Manon wanting to get on the treadmill and wanting to work out, and she asked me if I would watch cartoons with Dylan, and she said to me, just put SpongeBob on, and I said, what's SpongeBob? Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
So I would babysit Manon's son Dylan so she could work out. And then it was so awesome. It was a good time in the growth of female hockey, and we were proud to be a part of it. I remember that. And it was an amazing opportunity.
So much success. You had so much success with college hockey, winning 5 titles in the NCAA. It was amazing to see what you accomplished too with college hockey.
Yeah, we won 5 national championships in 15 years, still holds the record, and you were part of that, helping me build the program from the beginning, so I thank you for that. But Manon, it was an amazing opportunity for those young players at UMD to be around you as one of their coaches, and also for them to see Dylan. You know, you there as a mom with Dylan, bringing him to the rink and having him around the team. And then, as we know, Dylan grew up to be a great young man and goaltender. And now you've got Dylan and Dakota playing hockey, but the girls in the UMD program, I know, will remember you forever as well. You were a great role model for them, just like you were for Kendall. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
I must add to that too. As a young 11-year-old, I remember, chasing Dylan around the rink, and he would, at the Pee Wee tournament, he would take a breakaway shot because he was still skating. Manon, was he 4? Was he 4 years old?
He was 4 years old. He was our mascot, and he was taking breakaway shot before games.
Yeah, and it's been so fun. Well, it's been really cool to see Dylan grow up. I remember him still as a 4-year-old, and now just being able to be friends with him and talk to him. And, you definitely have raised him the right way, because I can tell how much respect he has for us as women, and he has that respect equally for men. And he's constantly reaching out to me like, good job, congrats, good luck. And he's been around the women's game his whole life. So kudos to you. And he's an amazing young man, and it's been fun to follow him at Notre Dame too.
Thank you very much.
And Manon, I echo that. I trust, there's no doubt in my mind that Dylan and Dakota have grown up and respect women. So I know you're a great mother and a great role model for so many. Now, Kendall, you're only 26 years of age. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you've already competed in 6 world championships and 2 Olympic games. Is that correct?
Yes.
You've won 5 World Championship gold medals and 1 silver, and gold in the most recent Olympics in 2018 in South Korea, and silver Olympic in 2014 in Sochi, Russia. I can't believe you've done this and you're only 26 years old.
I feel like I'm getting up there in the national team program, so I'm feeling on the older side now.
Oh no. Well, start with sharing some of your experiences. You can talk about the Worlds, winning gold, winning silver. I know the pain of that. So does Manon. And same with the Olympics, winning gold, winning silver. Just talk about anything and everything that you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, I think the World Championships, it's tough because they're every year, and it's our biggest tournament of the year. You have to wait till April to compete in it. And I think when I was in college, it was always something I looked forward to at the end of the season. So I was so fixated on my college seasons that I would focus on college, and then the World Championships would come and it'd be like, oh, flip the switch. Now it's USA hockey time. But since I've been out of college and been able to just solely focus on the national team, you really appreciate those moments a lot more, and you look forward to them, and it becomes your life. You're every day you're in the weight room or on the ice. That's what you're thinking about, or are those World Championships and your teammates and representing your country. And especially the Olympic Games. I mean, you guys know there's no greater honor than putting on your nation's colors at the Olympic Games when you're surrounded by elite athletes every single day, listening to their stories, just seeing the Olympic rings every day. I mean, I watched that in movies as a kid, and now I was living it. But the silver medal in 2014 was definitely tough to swallow. I actually came back home and I had a different feeling than when I was there. I had tears in my eyes when I was receiving the silver medal because I was so upset we lost. And you guys you resonate with that feeling as well. Like, how much it hurts. But then when I came back to my hometown in Chicago and just seeing how many people it impacted, how many kids wanted to see it and touch it and hold it and saying, good job, you were amazing. Oh, I love watching women's hockey. I can't wait for the next Olympics. I was like scratching my head thinking, okay, this is pretty cool. And it changed my perspective that this game is impacting so many more people than just a simple medal. And while as elite athletes, we want to win, we want to be the best. Though that's what I took out of that journey. And go fast forwarding to Korea 2018. I didn't know what it was like to win. I didn't know what that feeling was at the highest level. And so after we won, I think that acts as more motivation to want to get back there. Now knowing the feeling of being on top versus the feeling of losing and wanting to get to the top.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, Manon, you want to add anything to that?
You know what? One of the things that she said, obviously we were very disappointed to, we call it winning the silver instead of losing the game. We were very disappointed, but I remember you, Shannon, making a comment to the media after that game and said, this is the first time at the Olympic game that women's team award medals in ice hockey, and we should be proud of that, because when you watch the Olympics, if you watch any other sports, anybody that wins the gold, silver, or bronze, they're so excited. And it was kind of weird for us to win the silver and be all crying. So when you look at these, like when you look back and you look at all the other sports and you realize that you're holding an Olympic medal, I think your perception changed. But at the moment, it's like Kendall said, it's hard to even think about being excited. You just lost a game.
Oh, there's no question. And I'll share something with you now. I felt so much pressure. I was the only female head coach at the Olympic Games for hockey, and I was not only the only female, I was the youngest. And Canada were expected to win back then. And I just felt so much pressure. And obviously I handled the pressure the best I could. But I mean, I can't even tell you how much pressure I felt. And so Manon, when we did not win, I felt like I'd been crushed. When you crush a pop can to put it in the recycle bin, that's pretty much how I felt. Just crush. But then I was standing on the blue line and I watched Team USA get their gold medals. and everything inside me changed. And I'm really proud of you that you remember that, because was my response to the media. Was I had a very proud moment that I was standing on the blue line watching female hockey players receive an Olympic gold medal for the first time ever in the history of our world. And yes, silver was not the color that I wanted, but so proud to be part of that journey and making history in that moment. And that has saved me from some of the pain. But of course, it's painful when you don't win gold, and you've sacrificed everything to win gold. And if I can send one message out there, it's just to people in general, and that is, please support your Olympians, whether they win Olympic gold, silver, or bronze, because they've given up everything to compete for their country. And they're already feeling enough pain if they don't come home with the color or medal that they want. So help prop them up and support them no matter what. And that is one thing that I take away from my Olympic silver experience.
Yeah, and I must add too, and say thank you to both of you Trailblazers, because there was a little 6-year-old girl sitting in a house in Chicago, not really understanding or comprehending the game of hockey, but looking to my parents and say, I want to go to the Olympics because I saw women playing hockey for the first time. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for that. And Kendall, isn't that amazing that then not too many years later, there's Manon in net, and you're watching her on the blue line, probably crying with the rest of the players, unfortunately, and you're watching both teams, and then just a few years later, she's your coach. It's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, seriously, like not almost less than almost 5 years later. It's insane. And I don't remember comprehending the game that much. I was so young. I just kind of remember like ponytails, and I was like, oh, are those girls? Like, okay. But then I met Cami Granado shortly after that, and that's when I was a little bit, I was 7 that summer, so I was a little bit older, comprehended a little bit more. And when you physically hold something, and as Billie Jean King always says, you can't be what you can't see. And I saw her, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Exactly. So, Kendall, I know this won't surprise you, but Manon was amazing. She was amazing the entire Olympic year. She was very calm, and she was a real leader on the team. And she actually helped keep me calm. I've never told her that before, but I'll tell her now, because she just had such a calm presence. I think after being what she had been through in the NHL, this was maybe just a little bit easier for her. Is that true, Manon?
It definitely helped me. And I think too, the maturity when you get older, I remember being so superstitious, and if I didn't do something a certain way, and as you get older, you realize that you create, your personality, and being calm, and if you prepare yourself at the best you can be, that's the best you can do. So putting extra pressure was not, but it's something that doesn't. You need to go through different pressure situation to be able to handle it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Manon, can we talk about the movie? Is that allowed?
Oh, it's still, yes, we can. It's just, it's been a long process. It's very interesting because the journey of putting the movie together right now remind me a lot of the journey that I had to go through playing hockey, the ups and downs, and getting closer, and having to. So, when we're getting closer, obviously it takes a lot of time. Throughout the process, we had to deal with a couple of few changes, but it's exciting to think that a few people are working so hard to make that story happen, and truthfully, it's to continue to help inspiring people. When they approached me, when Angie Bellero approached me, and she said, I want to do a movie that is a female lead, and I want to inspire people. That's what got me into that movie, because when I play in Tampa Bay, I didn't realize the impact I would have on young girls, on girls like Kendall. I just went there and play hockey. And it's not until later in life when moms had come up to me and said, like, you're such an inspiration for my daughter, or my son did a project in you in school, or someone had their poster of me in their bedroom, and every day they high five my poster before they go somewhere because they want to accomplish something. That's when you realize that your story impacted people positively. So that movie, it's a little bit to kind of inspire the next generation of people that was not born when I played, but they can see that women can do something in a men's world, and that it's not just women, but I think even men. Often you get placed in situations people doesn't believe in you, and so if you see someone that can accomplish something that people didn't believe in, I think that help everyone.
Oh, for sure. So Manon Rheaume's life is going to be told through a movie as a trailblazer and a game changer. I think that's very appropriate. Manon, is the movie going to be called Between the Pipes?
That's the title right now.
That's the title.
If nothing changed.
Okay, so we'll all wait.
Yes.
We'll wait and watch for that movie, Between the Pipes with Manon Rheaume. That's awesome, Manon. Manon, congratulations on your illustrious playing and coaching career, and on being a special guest alongside Willie O'Ree at one of the Las Vegas Knights playoff games last season. I was there, and I saw you crank the siren to begin the game. Was that a good experience?
It was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I was laughing. The funniest part, I think, it's when I got the call and someone asked me to do this. I was in the living room, and my oldest one, Dylan, looked at me. It's like, Mom, do you realize the pressure? You're going to be the one that's going to set the tone for the entire fans there. And then he's like, you cannot just go there and be a wimp and not be able to turn this thing. And now I'm like, I was getting nervous. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I have pressure now of cranking up the thing because if I don't do it well. So it was funny. My son, I think, was more nervous that I embarrassed him not be able to crank the thing than anything else.
Well, I was there and witnessed it in person. You can tell your son you did fantastic. I was very proud of you, and it was pretty cool that you were there with Willie O'Ree. I actually met Willie O'Ree in Duluth when I was coaching at UMD, and he's obviously a trailblazer as well.
No, that was really fun to be, doing this with them and to be part of, the whole Las Vegas journey too.
Exactly. And Kendall, you had a great playing career at Northeastern University. You were awarded the Patty Kazmaier Award your senior year. Congratulations for that. That's the top honor for a female hockey player in college hockey. So congrats.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your amazing playing career to date at the young age of 26, as well as your recent groundbreaking performance at the NHL Skills Showcase. And thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to join both of you. It's been fun to be able to follow in your footsteps and try and break barriers along the way.
Conversations from the world of women's sports. This is Wisp Sports Radio.
Well, thank you to Kendall. Thank you to Manon. Thank you for listening and enjoy the game. Follow and comment on social media. Twitter is at Wisp Sports. My Twitter is at Miller12Shannon. My Facebook and Instagram is at Coach Shannon Miller. My website is CoachShannonMiller.com. Check out the latest drill of the week that I post on Thursdays on my Facebook page. You can find links in the show notes for this episode at wispsports.com and find more coverage of women's sport. Thanks for supporting women in sport everywhere.